Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We did hold executive session this evening and no votes were taken. So, okay, we're going to move to, so the public hearing, it's not a public hearing, but we're going to start with the soil removal and excavation. Oh, okay. Can we have roll call, please?
Supervisor McGlasson?
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell? Present. Councilman Tempori?
Here.
Councilman Ruthven?
Here.
Councilman Boyd?
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Is there any board comment on the soil? I don't know if you want to take comments and then,
You want to just, we gotta explain what's going on
yeah,
with
should
it.
we have, let's have, Nancy, do you want to explain the soil removal and excavation, where we are on that right now?
Yeah, I believe we closed the public hearing last week. We were going to vote on it tonight, but in the interim, we received some comments, and I have to take some time to research some of those comments. So I'm suggesting the board hold it over just until the next meeting so I can respond.
So December 5th, we'll have it
December
on
5th, yes.
on the agenda.
So I move that we defer action on this until December 5th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is the 2023 budget.
2024.
2024, oh,
Typo.
time's flying when you're having fun. 2024 budget. Do we have any board comment? I know you weren't here, so I don't know if you have any comment. No? Any public comment? We're good in the back?
It's like the peanut gallery.
I know
back
it
there.
is, right? Do you have anything else you need to say about the
So the public hearing has to be closed
Mhm.
tonight. Tomorrow would have been the last day to close the public hearing. The budget has to be adopted by the 20th, so it can be adopted today, because I
Yep.
don't think there are any more meetings.
Okay.
Okay. Can you just let the public know exactly, basically what the increase, because we obviously have to raise taxes this year. What is the increase for an average?
So an average median assessed household in Kent would see an average increase of about $60 to $65
Okay.
for the town tax.
And an average household is what, 350,000?
About 300,000,
300,000,
325, yep.
And it's $60 for a year,
Right.
in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's going up. People that go food shopping know that you can't purchase what you purchased even a year ago for the same price now, so.
And what is the total town budget approximately?
Total with all the districts, which also, well, the total appropriations budget
Yep.
is 21,600. That's everything. That includes Kent Fire District as well as the library. That's not the levy, that's the, actually our total spending budget.
21 million.
Yep, 21,600,000.
That's a lot more than the 21,000 you just said.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
21,600,000, yeah.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
I was about to yell, hooray!
You wish.
Okay. Any public comment? No?
Yeah. We are using, so we have estimated revenues as well of 3,700,000 that we're using, that we are estimating to bring in, and the reserves of a total of 1.5 million. Yep.
Could just make one comment. Last week, we got a lot of feedback because I got to see a lot of people. And we really got to make sure, speaking from the audience, that was one thing they said. They don't hear any of the audience commentary. So you got to either ask the speaker to repeat the question or get up and talk, because I guess out in TV land, it seems odd when Yulia's up here just talking to herself.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
We make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. We make a motion to approve the budget?
Do we have a-
We have a resolution.
There's
have a resolution.
I didn't even get that far. I'm still looking at the very first page. Sure.
Make a motion
I'm not gonna find
to
it.
adopt the resolution to adopt the 2024 Town of Kent
Keep going.
budget. Whereas on November 8th, 2023, and November 14th, 2023, the Town Board of the Town of Kent duly held a public hearing on the preliminary budget for the fiscal year 2024. And whereas the Town Board heard all persons desire to be heard in the matter, and the matter of the budget for the town for said fiscal year was fully discussed and considered by the Town Board. Now therefore be it resolved that the final budget as incorporated herein and part of hereof is hereby adopted as the annual budget of the Town of Kent for the fiscal year beginning the first day of January 2024, and that such budget as so adopted be entered in detail in the minutes of the Town Board, and be it further resolved that the Town Clerk of the Town of Kent, Yolanda D. Capelli, shall prepare and certify and duplicate copies of said annual budget as adopted by this Town Board and deliver one copy thereof to the Town Supervisor, Jamie McGlasson, to be presented by her to the Putnam County Board of Legislators. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
If I may say, that's the first budget I've ever gone through, with large millions of dollars. I liked it. It was very open. We had tons of meetings. I think we had great discussions on how to try to save money. So I think it was very productive, and I appreciate having you guys on the board. Well done.
And I gotta say, we appreciate Yulia, because I gotta tell you, my eyes literally go crossed going down through those charts and everything, and she always knows when we ask a question where to find the answers, even to what page to go look for it on. She's really good at that, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Our next item on the agenda is with our highway, so I invite our highway superintendent, Rich Othmer, up here.
Uh-oh, it's a briefcase, it's official tonight.
Scary, right? Used to seeing a shovel in my hand.
All right, you have a couple items on. So the first is the trailer that we are transferring from Putnam County to us.
Right. 10 years ago, when I took office, I walked in the door. The highway department didn't own one trailer. Louis Strickland would take the paving machine and drive it if they had to do a road at the other side of town at 5 miles an hour, and take the whole day to get there, then the whole day to get it back. It was ridiculous. It was a joke. I thought the guys were teasing me at first, but then it was reality. They didn't own one trailer. All we had was a backhoe. Every little contractor has an excavator and a skid steer. You get work done 10 times faster. So I spoke to Fred Penna. The county highway department had a trailer a 20-ton trailer they were going to put on auction. I told them, the dilemma I was in, and they said, "Look, Richie, take it and use it. We won't put it up for auction, and maybe we can figure something out later on." I've had that trailer for 10 years. It served us very well. We put our paving machine and the 2 rollers on it at the same time. We can be all over town just like that. I've had it for 10 years for free. We didn't put a penny into it. Now, I talked to Tommy Fury, the new commissioner of highways, Department of Public Works. Tommy said, "Richie, let me talk to the county executive. We can convey it to you for $1." And so with that, when I was given the green light, I said, "Sure." So we just put some new tires on it. I put new wood planks on it. We painted it. It's a really good trailer. To buy a new one would cost, I priced it out today with Nick, about $45,000. If I included the labor with the welder and the paint and everything, and we put about 17 grand into it, it's going to be around for another 25 years. I understand you had some opposition last meeting about this. I don't understand it. I had Nick clear it. I have my CEOs and Nick, the municipal repairs manager. I let them advise me because they know the equipment, and they said, "Richie, it's a go. It's in good shape." And so if you don't want to do it, I'll go out and buy a $45,000 trailer. But my advice is to get the trailer. It's a good bargain. And that's all I have to say on that.
Do we want to take it one at a time? We'll vote on that. Is there
Sure,
any
let's-
board comment on the trailer? I know we kind of talked about it last week.
I wasn't here last week, Richie, but I got just one question for you. Do you have the dollar in your budget to pay for it?
I'll do it out of my pocket.
Any public comment? Okay. Someone want to read the resolution?
Make a motion to adopt a resolution to enter an agreement with the County of Putnam for the transfer of a trailer to the Kent Highway Department. Whereas Putnam County is the owner of a certain surplus 2000 International trailer identified as VIN number 1JKDLA 409YA 0000208, the trailer. And whereas the county has permitted the Town of Kent Highway Department to possess and use the trailer since approximately 2014, and in return, the Town Highway Department has maintained and renovated the trailer and permitted the county's use of same as needed. And whereas the town board is in receipt of a certain agreement, a copy of which is annexed hereto and incorporated herein by reference, whereby the county would transfer ownership of the trailer to the Town Highway Department, the agreement, and whereas the town board wishes to accept the transfer of the trailer and authorize the town supervisor to execute the agreement, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent authorizes the transfer of the trailer to the highway department as further described above and wishes to authorize the town supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution, including without limitation the agreement. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right,
Thank you.
and then the next item is you have asked us to advertise for a few positions, correct?
Yes, so there's going to be, Nick Mancuso is retiring November 30th. We're going to have some movement in the municipal repairs department. I want to be proactive because winter's coming, and basically the whole department is going to be brand new from 6-7 months ago. We have such a turnover, and I have a lot of breakdowns in the winter during plow season, so I want to be proactive and be ready, so when we find a replacement for Nick, there's a lot of different options we can use, which we'll discuss later. So I'd like to roll this into one resolution, have it so we advertise in-house, you know, with the present employees we have, and then after the 5 days where it's posted, Lana has permission to put it right in the newspaper, so we can just push forward and do it.
Okay. Do we want to move up? I have on the agenda for municipal repairs to accept the resignation and advertise. So do we want to move that up now and just do it all at once? So
Sure.
we're going to accept Nick's resignation, advertise, and then we'll advertise for the positions that you also are asking for. I put it as two separate items, so we're just going to
Cover everything, that's
put
fine,
it all
that's smart.
together, so it's all covered under one. All right, so do you want to read the first?
I can't find it.
Okay, what do you need first?
I don't know. It's not.
All right.
You need the resignation.
I make a motion to pass a resolution accepting the resignation of a service manager of the Town of Kent Municipal Repairs. Whereas the Town of Kent wishes to accept the resignation of Nick Mancuso as service manager for the Town of Kent Municipal Repairs Department effective November 30th, 2023. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Kent wishes to advertise for applicants for the vacant position of service manager in municipal repairs, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board accepts the resignation of Nicholas Mancuso as municipal repairs service manager with thanks for his service, and be it further resolved the Town Board of the Town of Kent hereby authorizes his town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for applicants for a municipal repairs service manager. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Where's the,
Aye.
all right, this one I have, right? That one's not in here at
Aye.
all.
Now we're doing phone line?
What are you looking for?
I saw another one. We're doing the next position too?
Yes, now we have, so he wants us to advertise for
I saw that one in here.
mechanic, mechanics helper, and
Yep,
MEO.
got it. I make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the town clerk to advertise mechanic, mechanics helper, and motor equipment operator in the Town of Kent Highway Department. Whereas the Town of Kent is seeking to fill the positions of mechanic, mechanics helper, and motor equipment operator in the Town of Kent Highway Department, and whereas the Town of Kent wishes to advertise for applications to fill said position following the 5-day internal posting, and whereas the Town Board of the Town of Kent wishes to authorize its town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for applications for the positions of mechanic, mechanics helper, and MEO in the Highway Department following the 5-day internal posting, now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Kent hereby authorizes its town clerk, Yolanda D. Capelli, to advertise for applications for the mechanic, mechanics helper, and MEO in the Highway Department following the 5-day internal posting. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I feel like I read the same sentences over and over and over again.
Aye.
Okay. All right. So So you're,
Can I bring up some other highway issues?
yes, of course.
Number one, I just want to, Thursday night, I'm appearing in front of the Physical Services Committee for the county. They were ready to go ahead with the conveyance of the 9 acres of land next to the highway department. It runs between the highway yard and Route 311. So I got to thank the county for doing that, the county executive for pushing that through for us. We really need it because I'm ordered off the landfill. I'm still digging dirt and stuff out of there. We were supposed to stop everything dumping there in 1986, and the town just continued dumping leaves and dirt and everything, so I'm still digging that out. So we need this land to set up a place to process our trees and our wood chips, and I need a place to store when we do projects, blacktop, broken up concrete, until I can get it down to Lawton Adams to get it reprocessed. So we need the space. Our septic system presently is on private property. I brought that to you guys weren't even here yet, the Old Town Board's attention. It's on private property. So now we're going to own our own septic system property. And it's like the upside down world. I didn't understand any of it. So I'm going to go there. I spoke to the supervisor about this, and once hopefully it gets approved by the legislature, I'm going to bring it back for you guys to approve, to accept the land, and not only for storage facilities for those things. I want to try to get like a Quonset hut building from the Army surplus where we can keep a lot of our equipment out of the rain under cover. And also, I'd like to attempt in the next couple of years to cut a road right from the highway yard out to 311, because we go through that residential neighborhood now, and there's little kids playing on the road, you know, so on and so forth. So I'd like to cut a road right out to 311. That's going to take a little time, working with the DOT, and then the people on the road would just have to deal with the nursery trucks. And so that's coming up Thursday night. And then, all right, if you don't mind, I'd like to, my morning was kind of ruined. Somebody came in my office and dropped this letter on my desk that was in the today's paper, the Little Putnam County Press. And I get upset when my department is trashed, and actually I get defensive of you guys too, because I know how hard it is. I'd rather have my job than your job, because you have to formulate a budget with a town without a tax base. And it's really hard, and I'm always coming to you guys asking you for stuff, and I sympathize with you. I could never sit on the town board because we'd have like a 50% tax increase in 1 year. Anyway, there were some questions here. I can't answer all of them for everybody, but I can answer the ones that pertain to me. I was hoping the person that wrote this letter would be here tonight, but they're not, so hopefully they're watching on TV. And I take offense to this because when I go out in town now, people read this and they start questioning me. And I've always invited everyone to my office. If you have an issue, come into my office and talk to me. You can go through the filing cabinets. And then if you still disagree with me, then write your letter. I don't care. As long as we have a grown-up conversation of why I do things and why it was done that way. And I have plenty of backup, and I invite anyone, if they have any issues or any questions, just come on down to the office. You don't have to even fill out a FOIL form. You can walk through it and go through all the filing cabinets. But anyway, the issues, the questions I'm going to have here is, number 3 was, why did it take over 4 years, number 4. Why is Lake Carmel still without a community, number 5. There's a lot of questions here. Why not have, why did it take so many years for the walking bridge culvert in Lake Carmel to be repaired? All right, here's the story, and hopefully this person I wrote the letter is watching. The bridge washed out twice before I took office. Right after not right after, probably, I guess around 2018, that storm, it washed out again, and then it's when my guys, that was the first time it washed out in my tenure. So I talked to, my senior guys in the garage, and they said it happened twice before. And I said, well, why the hell are we rebuilding it the same way? It doesn't make sense. If that happened in your own backyard, you wouldn't do that. So I talked to Maureen Fleming about it. She was the town supervisor, and Maureen and I both agreed that it was senseless to rebuild the same thing. You never reinforce failure. That's just something that I know just from life. So we looked at it, and we had an engineers go down and look at it after it washed out this time, and there's too many different streams. There's too much hydraulic pressure coming in. There's 4 or 5 entries into that little cove there, and the force just blows out the culvert, so you can't build it with that. You got to use engineered abutments, which we're working on right now. The town board is working with FEMA because we're going to replace it with FEMA money. It's not going to cost us anything. It's going to be covered. But FEMA, you'd better off getting a root canal without any Novocaine, dealing with them. It's just a lot of work. So that's where it takes time. Chris and I were down there last month. They drilled we had an engineering driller down there doing soil samples down to the bedrock to see what kind of abutments we need. So that's going to happen. And also, we ended up getting, the town board authorized myself to get this concrete earthquake-proof bridge that I would have to guess it's got to be over $75,000 to $100,000. It's a pre-made steel and concrete bridge that the University of Buffalo fabricated in their engineering. One of the guys did their doctorate on this bridge, and they have a machine where the bridge shakes and everything. So we got it. I actually had to write an essay, like I was in grade school, the why the town of Kent should get it. So we got it, we shipped it down here, and I have it sitting off of Ludingtonville Road in the State Yard, waiting for these abutments to be made. And once they go in, this bridge is going to be, they're making the abutments to accommodate this bridge. And once that bridge goes in, it's there forever. You can have tornadoes, and it's there forever. So instead of doing a Band-Aid fix, which the town did several times, which is ridiculous, that's why the bridge is taking 2 years. And Chris and Jamie and I I've been harassing the engineers, trying to get it done. All right, the next one was how much money have we bonded to the highway department? We have bonded. The first one was the $3.2 million to renovate the old garage and build a new garage. My guys, we dug the footings, we prepped the floor, we did all that stuff for the new building. And the old building, I think most of you came down for the tour. There was holes in the ceiling. There was no insulation in the building. The walls were rotted out. We had rats in the building. And actually, at one point, I forget who was, the electric company showed up and wanted me to use LED light bulbs. So that ought to save us a nickel a year for this fiasco here. So we went down, and with the bonding money, the old building is now reskinned, the roof, the walls, with insulation. There's no more leaks in the roof or in anything. We built the addition on the front, the stone addition. We did it ourselves, our guys. I had a carpenter come in for 5 days to frame it with our guys. I did all the stonework and brickwork and blockwork myself. I had my own cement mixer there. I had my own scaffold there. I'm not getting paid to be a mason, but I'm proud of the facility down there, and I'm very proud of what my guys did down there. And we have the new building in. We built that wall. Everyone's invited to come down there. We have a wall that's 400 feet long, 15 feet high. I was given a price by the company of $1 million to have that wall installed by a private contractor. We did it in-house. Louis Strickland and Stanley Robinson, those two guys basically did the wall themselves for $175,000. We saved the town $825,000. And I come down, it's a great wall. Anyway, so the $3.2 million, I came in on budget. I have, Angela, about $40,000 left, which we're going to repair the foreman's office. It's rotting away. We have a tarp over the top of it. Once the spring comes, I'm going to put up a block building there, which I can do with the remaining money. We came in on target, and I just wanted, every time you read in the paper, the school bus garage up there, I remember they came in with like a $3.5 million estimate, and then when they went out for prices, it came in at $12 million, and now it's an empty lot. We came in on budget. We built what we originally estimated, and I'm proud of that. So anyone's welcome to come down for a tour of the highway department, see what we did down there. And that's the $3.2 million. This year we bonded $800,000. The town board grabbed me and they said, Richie, our biggest complaints from the residents is paving. I paved completely around Lake Carmel because Lake Carmel has 58% of the population in the town. They have the most cars going over there, and Lake Carmel, I'm doing a lot of re-drainage projects, so I can't do a lot of finished paving projects here till the drainage is done, but the Lake Road was ready. That cost, Angela, $800 and something thousand. That whole bond went to the Lake Carmel Road. It costs about I ballpark when I look at a road, I have to say it's $150,000 a mile, 2 lanes to blacktop. we have 108 center lane miles, which means 216 lane miles. But, so to pave 1 mile, 2 lanes is $150,000. We get about $400,000 from CHIPS. I mean, do the math. It's hard. You got to really, you got to study it, and you got to make the most use of this money. But that's where the bond money went, if they want to know where that went. And do we get reimbursed for shared services? That's kind of a silly question. You share services. In 2013, when I ran, Kathy, we ran together. You gave me this book. You said, Richie, read this book. This will prep you for the highway superintendent's position. I read the book. Chapter 4 is all about shared services and how they encourage it. It's in New York State highway law. They encourage it. In 2017, I got some. I got.
I thought that briefcase was just a prop.
No, I got something here. This is the correspondence I had with Sean back in August with all the backup law. So you guys know, after this letter, if you get questioned by residents, you have the answer. You guys want to pass me that? Answer, you made all the copies, so I know you want it. All right, in that packet, I need one.
And we need one for Lana.
In 2017, Governor Cuomo came out with this countywide shared service initiative.
We'll share services
Can I have
with the
one?
packet.
Okay, thank you. You could give mine to Ann, she gave me hers. No,
I
Ann
need
needs
one.
one.
Here, Rich, you can have mine. I'll share. See, I learned in
Oh, we have,
kindergarten I
we have
can.
an app, oh, okay.
No, not at all.
All right, and besides that, in 2017, Governor Cuomo came out with a program, the Countywide Shared Services Initiative. He wanted you to do shared services until he left office. I didn't want to talk about that. But I got a letter, it's in your packet, from the county executive. We had to go to a meeting at the county building, all the highway superintendents and supervisors, where we had to come up with, I filled out tons of paperwork of suggested shared services for equipment and so on and so forth. But Governor Cuomo was going to hold CHIPS money and financial, grant money over your head if you didn't figure out a way to share services. And Chris, you know, you work, some things you can share, some things you can't. But it didn't make a lot of sense what he wanted because, number one, he doesn't work on construction. When the town of Patterson would need the equipment, it probably at the same time we would need the equipment. But anyway, that was a directive from the governor that we had to formulate a shared service plan. I have signed by the town board. I have multiple shared service contracts made up by Nancy T here with different towns. We share equipment all the time. I work very well with the county, with the New York State DOT, Patterson, Carmel, Putnam Valley. We all work together, and when we do, like when we just paved the parking lot in the highway department, we had 3 county triaxles there, hauling blacktop. We don't have 3 triaxles to go with. So it works out good. I watch it like a hawk. I am not going to let the town get ripped off because there's been little innuendos about that. You know, we're getting screwed. Yeah, Richie's paving this and Richie's paving that. Other towns with our equipment. It's a fair and equitable exchange. It's authorized by New York State highway law. It's encouraged and it saves money. So I want that done forever. I don't want to hear this nonsense about shared services. It's legitimate, it's legal, and if you want to come down, I try to keep a little book with what we flip-flop back and forth, but sometimes you just can't keep up. Let me see if that was it. All right, that's my bit there. And that's it, and I wanted my last thing is I want to stick up for my town board because you guys, like I said, I would not want to be in your shoes. You're trying to make a budget with a town without a tax base, and I commend you for trying to get a tax base. It's a hard thing to do politically, but I give you all credit for pushing it forward, because we got to get some business in this town. None of us are going to be able to afford to live here. So I understand your pain, and I need an extra $100,000 for next year. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Our next item is for the planning board. They are asking us to appoint an alternate member. It was voted unanimously at their last meeting to appoint Jean Monet? Mon? Okay. Any board comment? Public? I don't, you're still stuck on the name?
Yeah,
All right.
good. I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution appointing an alternative member to the planning board, whereas there is a vacancy for the position of alternative member of the planning board, and whereas by resolution number 17 of the year 2023, the planning board has recommended the hiring of Miss Jean Munn, and I apologize, Jean, if that's wrong, and whereas the town board wishes to appoint Jean Munn as an alternate member to the planning board, now therefore be resolved that Jean Munn be appointed as an alternate member of the planning board. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just see this, we have a request from our Lake Carmel Park District that there is some electric work that needs to be done over on the lake where we light up the Christmas tree. And we went out and originally we weren't able to, we were able to get 3 quotes, and I'm asking tonight to approve the lowest quote in the amount of $1,575 to Rovidi Electrical Services. We do want to get this done now so that we have no issues when we want to light the Christmas tree in a few weeks. Any comment?
No? I'll make a motion to pass a resolution accepting proposals for electrical repairs for Lake Carmel Park District, whereas by email dated November 13th, 2023, the Lake Carmel Park District, the LCPD, informed the town board of the need for repairs to the electric for the Lake Carmel Park District tree lighting, whereas the LCPD requested quotes to repair the electric and received a response from 3 contractors, and whereas Rovidi Electric Services has submitted the lowest proposal for the repairs in the amount of $1,575, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent wishes to accept the proposal submitted by Rovidi Electrical Services, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby accepts the proposal of Rovidi Electrical Services to repair the electric for the Lake Carmel Park District tree lighting consistent with the attached proposal, and be it further resolved, the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all agreements and other documents necessary to give effect to this resolution consistent with the terms hereof, all in the form satisfactory to the supervisor and the town attorney. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and I think you have a couple items you want to add?
Yes, I do. Grant-related items. So I make a motion to add an item to the agenda. Eustis wasn't on, right? The
No.
secret- Okay. Pertaining to the secret declaration for the Eustis Park expansion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so this project has been underway for some time, and I've been waiting for the secret designation because we have $500,000 in funding from the Office of Parks and Recreation and Historic Preservation from New York State to help pay for the park renovations, and the secret declaration is the last thing we were waiting for, so I'm very excited to make a motion to adopt a resolution adopting a negative declaration under SECRA for the Eustis Park expansion. Whereas the town of Kent desires to improve, I forgot to ask if there's public comment, sorry. Any comment? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Whereas the town of Kent desires to improve Eustis Park by constructing a bathroom facility and pavilion, multi-use sport court, new parking lot, and reconfiguring the existing parking lot and repaving the existing basketball court, hereinafter referred to as the project. And whereas the project represents an unlisted action pursuant to the New York State Environmental Review Act, SECRA, and the town board considers itself the most appropriate agency to conduct the required environmental review for the project. And whereas Insight Engineering on behalf of the town board has prepared the full environmental assessment form, FEAF, in accordance with SECRA. And whereas the town board declared their notice of intent to become lead agency pursuant to SECRA and notified all other agencies by formal mailing on October 11th, 2023. And whereas no objections were received from the other involved agencies, the Town of Kent Town Board formally acknowledged themselves as lead agency at their June 6th, 2023 meeting. And whereas as lead agency, the town board has duly reviewed the EAF, the public record, and the latest plans. And whereas to determine whether the action may have a significant adverse impact on the environment, the town board has compared the impacts that may reasonably be expected to result from the action and compared them against the criteria for determining significance set forth in SECRA 6 NYCRR Section 617.7C. And whereas the town board has thoroughly analyzed and identified the relevant areas of environmental concern to determine if the action may have a significant adverse impact on the environment, and has taken the requisite hard look at the potential environmental impacts of the action, and whereas the town board concludes that the proposed action will not have any significant adverse environmental impacts, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby adopts the negative declaration attached hereto for the proposed action based upon its determination that the action will not have significant adverse environmental impacts. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Eustis.
And just a side note on that, that was the 500,000 from New York State Parks, correct? But there was additional monies from Sandy Gale.
Assemblywoman Gale
Assembly-
allocated $125,000.
Yeah.
I don't have the impacts.
You do, okay.
So I make a motion to adopt another resolution having to do with the Partners for Climate Action grant proposal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So this is a grant opportunity that came our way from an organization called Partners for Climate Action Hudson Valley. They have a decarbonization grant program that will fund up to $100,000 in energy improvements to reduce the carbon footprint of facilities and buildings. And there is no match. So there's no requirement that the town involve any funding of our own to receive this funding. So we discussed the idea of using these funds, if we can obtain them, to help with the improvements to the Old Town Hall for the renovation. And so I would like to hopefully adopt a resolution tonight authorizing us to apply. The deadline is actually 1 week from today, and we are working hard to get this application out the door. So if we can pass this tonight, that's an important milestone here. Any discussion on this one? Fellow board members? Public?
We like grants that are zero match.
Yeah.
Yes, we
It's
do.
a
It's the ideal.
bonus all around.
So I make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of a Partners for Climate Action Hudson Valley grant proposal, the Building Decarbonization Grant Program application by the town of Kent. Whereas Partners for Climate Action Hudson Valley is accepting applications for the 2023 funding round of the Building Decarbonization Grant Program, and whereas the town of Kent certifies that it desires to apply for funding for the Old Town Hall renovation project to design and install energy efficiency improvements such as new doors and windows, insulation, and LED lighting. And whereas be it resolved that the town of Kent hereby authorizes Jamie McGlasson, town supervisor, to act on its behalf in submittal of an application for $100,000 to be used for the development of new renovations to the Old Town Hall for the town of Kent. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I would like to make a motion to add one more item related to grants to our agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we've had a contract with Millennium Strategies LLC since 2019. And I have some stats here. We've done very well with them. So overall, they have secured about $5 million in grant funding for the town, $2.7 million this year alone. And also at this time, we have 11 pending grant applications representing $6.6 million. And I don't think that includes the TAP grant that we are in the process of applying for, which is going to be $6.25 million, counting the match. They've done a super job for us. And the contract with them is up this month. Now, when they first signed on with the town, our former supervisor got an introductory rate. Last year, we renewed at their standard rate at that time, which was $3,000 per month, $36,000 per year. This year, they have an increase. And by the way, when we got that original rate with them, there was the understanding that they would not give the town quite as much attention as they normally give their clients. But last year we renewed to their standard rate, which was $3,000 per month, and we have had lots of attention, not only for our grants for the town, but also the fire department and district, the police, the library, and so forth have all been involved. And at this point, the renewal cost has gone up to $3,500 per month, or $42,000 per year. And I strongly recommend that we go ahead and renew at this time. Any discussion?
I think they've been very beneficial to the town. We have received a lot of grant monies.
Yeah, including a lot of the highway bridge funding. So I make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing our supervisor to execute that renewal of that contract with Millennium Strategies at a cost of $3,500 per month, $42,000 per year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's the reality is it's actually a bargain. We're getting
Yes.
that money, yeah.
We're definitely getting our money's worth.
Yeah.
They
So-
know what they're doing. You know, you hear horror stories about other municipalities hiring these grant firms that they never get anything, you know, other than paying them, but this one really seems to
I
be.
interviewed a few of those.
They really
grant
seem to be,
companies.
know what they're doing, so I'm happy with them.
They're keeping me very busy.
Well,
Yep.
I ask the board to approve the following vouchers that were over the threshold for November 14th, 2023. Barton and LaJudas, $3,840.50 for Lake Carmel FEMA. Semco Water, $2,079.58 for October Water District Number 1. $4,678.52 for October Water District Number 2. Custom Bandage, $3,926.82 for tires. Magnifive MS, $7,388.18 for November network services. Millennium Strategies, $3,000 for November grant services. Morton Salt, $15,310.78 for salt. Nearmap US Inc., $5,000 for assessor software. New York State Department of Civil Service, $236,788.74 for November health insurance. NYSEG, $3,776.07 for electric for the police station. Princeton Hydro, $3,085.62 for Lake Carmel Monitoring Program. Ring Squared, $3,345.76 for November telephone service. State Comptroller, $42,787.50 for September Justice Court. Town of Kent Municipal Repairs, $14,777.15 for chargebacks for highway for July, $36,604.21 for chargebacks for highway for August, $15,650.78 for chargebacks for highway for September, and Wind Waste, $13,520.89 for Lake Carmel garbage. I ask the board to approve as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I have, my announcements are basketball is now open for registration. Go to the Town of Kent website and register now for basketball. It'll be starting in January. That's all I have for right now.
Health Department's rabies clinic is this Saturday at Veterans Memorial Park, 10 to 12. Ferrets,
Claudia will be there.
ferrets, cats, and dogs.
I'd like to continue on what Rich was talking about, an article in the paper written by a family member, so it'll be up to me to rebut on this. There was many questions to be asked, and so I'd like to answer a lot of these questions, and please let the board jump in whenever you'd like. So in the article here, it starts off with, why are the properties under assessed? So, obviously that was something that was kicked down, down the road, you can't kick down the road, sorry, from the previous administration, something that wasn't done. But that's something we've stepped up to, right? We put out a bid to have the reassessment done and accepted a bid, and then the process is going on. So if that answers that question, it's not that they aren't being done, it's actually going to happen. The next question is, how much will they go up? And we heard that earlier, $60 is like an average for the town side, not the school side, but the town side, for the town budget. That's how much will our taxes go up with the 2024 town budget, $60.
But one comment on that, I suspect has been kicked down the road for so long because it's not cheap to do. But we have a unique opportunity that's kind of landed in our lap with ARPA funding to be able to get this done and pay for it without it costing the taxpayers. I mean, it's their money, it came from the federal government, but it's money that can be used for something like this without straining our budget any further.
Yeah, and you got to realize that the reassessment doesn't really affect the town budget that much, because we only need to pay X, whatever our X is. That's what our town budget is. And whatever the assessment is on it, that's all we collect. What it does really affect is the school budget, which we know is probably around 140 million compared to the town budget, which was 21 million. So a big difference. Lion's share of the monies go to the school. What do we got here? Why did it take over 4 years to write a soil and excavation code? In part, I think a lot of it was during COVID, so not a lot got done. I wasn't here, but I think that well-crafted legislation takes a lot of conversation, and I think that's important. We've lost a lawsuit a long time ago, not doing the right thing as far as for property owners, so we want to make sure that we don't come into that mistake again. It was very costly last time. Question, why is Lake Carmel still without a community center? So again, something that was going on before I got here, but I know since I've been here, there has been stuff done on it. We've hired Barton and LaJudas, an engineering firm, who has come up with some pricing for us, either one, to save the building as it is for the community center, or tear that down and put up a new building. And so there are numbers, we're talking like 3.5 million to renovate the existing building, probably about 3.6 to put up a new building. If anybody has $3.5 million to come forward with, we'd be more than happy to put up a community center building tomorrow. I have talked to people about putting together a business plan so that we can put up a building that would be paid for itself. So maybe we bond out a portion of the project, but without money, it's going to be tough to build a building. Next one we go to, why do we not have a qualified recreation director? Right now, Jamie is doing the job. She's saving us a lot of money for that. I'm sure that at some point we are going to have a rec director. I think Jamie does a very good job. You got to realize that a rec director pays more in the position than supervisor does. She could step down tomorrow and take the rec job and just get that and make more money with a lot less headache, by the way, just to let you know. So, but at some point we will. And the rec, some people have issues with it, but there's good things and bad things. And everybody has their opinion on that, and let me know. I'd like to hear them. The next question is, why are kids going to Patterson, East Fishkill to participate? My kids are 27 and 29 years old, so I don't know a lot about it, but I do have a couple of nephews that are right in that range. I do know that there's some for-profit organizations that are basically taking some of the kids, they're going into different places. It cycles through, kids get older, younger, whatever it is, there's more population, less population as it goes. So where certain things go, kids are going to like soccer, and you'd know better than
Carmel
Uh-huh.
I. United, they go to Carmel United. Carmel United used to just be a travel program. Now Carmel United also has an in-house rec league as well. So kids go there for rec, and then they stay and they go to the travel. We also in Kent, for the first time in many, many years, have 5 travel baseball teams of all different ages and 4 travel softball teams in Kent of different ages. Our fields are rented every single night of the week with kids. That parking lot is full of parents with kids, and their kids are involved in sports, and there's people on our playground. So yeah, they might not want to be signing up for our soccer programs, but there's kids participating and playing in the fields every single day, and that's what's important to me.
Yeah, there's other things like laser tag, right? That thing
Yes, our
sells
laser
out.
tag is a huge, it's not, your typical basketball, baseball, or, soccer. It's different, but we sell out. We've opened up more sessions. We can't, the amount of kids that want to do it, we can't even handle all of them.
Rich tackled this one, why did it take so long for the walking bridge to be repaired, and excellent explanation, thank you, Rich. You did the cost, bonding, let's see down. Okay, so why did the town board pay a law firm over $3,900 to harass local citizens? Now, if I'm correct, I believe that was a fee that was put out for the petition that was brought forth for the Sunbury. Did we not have to respond to the petition?
That's right. There's a legal process that needs to be complied with, and that's what was done.
So, and if we don't do that, do we not then open ourselves up to a lawsuit if we do not comply?
Exactly right.
All right, so this is something that, it's a mandated that we have to send those letters out. So it's not harassment. It would be a failure on our behalf if we did not send these letters out. All right, so this is, it's embellishment, at best, it's a lie at worst, right? Why is the town board always in executive session? Again, more embellishment. This is an absolute. Why always? We're not always in executive session. Last week we weren't in executive session, and there's many reasons to go in executive session. One is we had to go back there and talk about the petition that was put forth. There's other lawsuits and salaries and whatever. We abide the best we can to Robert's rules. And I believe, that this board is well put together. We have excellent discussions, and I don't think anybody takes advantage of executive session to do something that's not proper. There are only 7 allowable reasons for executive session. Let's see. Why are we assisting a land flipper who does not live in Kent with easement and possible spot zoning change? Now, I don't believe anybody who's sitting at this board has used the word spot zoning as a potential for what we would do for this. And it's in reference to, obviously, the Sunbury property. This whole thing's a bit of a tempest in a teapot, right? Because we know that there's not going to be a lot done up there very soon. And, I agree that we should have better contract written about it. But, what is here, you're basically assassinating somebody's character. Who cares whether somebody lives in Kent or not? If it's somebody who comes along and they want to buy a piece of property, I don't care about their personality, what they drive, how wealthy they are. As long as they're abiding by the law, and so should be it. They should be able to invest in property, and that should be it. Let's see. That was it. I'm sure that the town has more questions, the residents on there. So I just want to say that, I love questions. Constructive criticism is great. I welcome it. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm not as smart as I like to think I am sometimes. And I want input from the public. We all want input from the public, positive input from the public, and not a bunch of, embellishment and stuff that's really not true. So, please, everybody's door is open here. Call any one of us at any time. I'm sure anybody here would love to discuss stuff. I talk to Jamie all the time. I literally sit in her office sometimes for hours at a time. And we chat about stuff with Chris all the time I could talk to. Jorma, I can call him anytime. I have his number. Ann and I sat and chatted, I think, for 15 minutes after everybody else left the other night after the meeting. This board gets together very well. And I think that there's a different attitude than it was probably some time ago. And I enjoy being here. And I thank you guys. I think we do a great job.
Thank you, Sean. I gotta say one thing on the executive session. I really wish that we didn't have to go in and get Nancy's reports on some of the issues that she has to report on. I wish we didn't have to find out that we have personnel issues that we have to deal with. That'd be nice if they weren't the topics we were discussing, but that's the life of being on the town board.
Yeah. And you have,
I'm sure you have.
I always have library announcements. Tonight is no exception. So for the rest of this month, you can still come in and pay your library fines by making donations of non-perishable foods. And you can look at the library website to see what you may bring in place of your fines, or just bring it anyway. And also for the rest of this month, Veterans Appreciation at the bookseller. So military veterans can fill a bag of books for $10. And a couple of craft things happening for Thanksgiving tomorrow at 11 a.m. Whoops, my computer's just scrolling. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. there's a craft event for very young children. And then I think at 1 p.m. there's something for adults, and you can look on the website to learn more about those. So I encourage you to check out all the wonderful offerings at the library. Thank you.
All right, I got a couple things. First off, I want to personally thank the Highway Department, the Sanitation Department, the Police Department. I've lived in this town since 1972, okay? My wife and I both grew up here. We went to school here, we stayed here, we raised our kids here. There's a reason for it, because this town is great, and it's because of all you people out there, okay? Is it perfect? Of course not. No place is perfect, but it's perfect for us. And I just want to thank everybody that's on the board also, the supervisor, and everybody that works with Richie, with Kevin, and with the Sanitation Department. That being said, I got a couple of personal things. First thing, I want to congratulate my daughter, Georgia. She is being inducted into the National Honor Society on Thursday.
Congratulations.
I was also in the National Honor Society. My son and my wife were not, but that's okay. And then the last thing, it's been an honor and a privilege being a coach with this 2023 Carmel Rams football team. We are the 3-time Section 1 AA champions. We're playing Shenandoah on Saturday at 3 o'clock at Mahopac in the state quarterfinals. Couldn't do it, obviously, without the players, the cheerleaders, the parents, the booster club, everybody that had a part in that. But more importantly, this Carmel community loves their football, and you see it in the stands. And after the Arlington game, we literally had over 1,000 people sitting there in the freezing cold, cheering us on, and it is very, very appreciated. I want to thank you guys for that also.
Go Rams.
Go Rams. Hopefully we go to Syracuse again.
all right, any public comment?
Well, it's a good time to say, I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel issues.
Yep.
Second.
All in
Always.
favor?
Aye.
Second always.
Yes.